following podcast contains real stories and raw conversations from first responders and military personnel. Some topics may be graphic or triggering. The views expressed by the host and the guests are their own and do not represent any agency or organization. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Dispatch. We have Kevin in the studio. You guys might be confused, but he is Mike's twin, who we just had on. Mike killed it. I also reached out to Kevin. I was like, man, would you love to come on? And actually, your brother probably reached out to you first, right?
He did.
Yeah. And, dude, you guys are not going to be disappointed. We actually just looked over one of Kevin's video footage from when he was in combat with the Marines in 2010.
2010, yes.
Yeah. It was fucking bananas. We'll put it up for you guys to take a look at. You're not going to want to miss that either. But Kevin served in the Marines. Actually, before we even get to that fact, Kevin and his brother were raised in China up to their 11 years old. If you haven't listened to Mike's podcast, go back and listen to it now. I believe it's episode 7. No, it's episode 14 and 15, right?
15, 16.
15, 16. Don't listen to me. Listen to Carrie. So when they moved to the United States, they really faced a lot of challenges with their home life and then also the school life. I mean, it's definitely a big adjustment for two young children to learn English at such a young age.
Yes.
They joined the Marine Corps together. They were attached to the same unit. They were deployed at the same time. When they got out, they, again, went into law enforcement. These guys do not stop. They continue to serve the country that they love with all their hearts. I'm sure I'm speaking for you, but I'm sure you agree with me.
100%.
So they were in the Marines for 4 years, and when they got out, they went into law enforcement, and they served on the same department.
Yeah, we're lucky enough to be hired at the same time. Yeah,
that's right, baby.
Yeah.
And then Kevin was also attached to the same federal task force that Mike is attached to now. Well, brother, it's an honor for you to come on, man. I'm really excited for your story. I'm really excited for you to fill in the gaps that your brother missed because, you know, Mike's a little bit forgetful.
Well, that's what I'm here for. So
that's why we brought you in.
The big brother's here.
So for the listeners, tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, brother.
Okay, so my brother and I, we were born in China in the late 80s, 1989. So we're 36 this year. Living in China, it's a little bit different than here, obviously. There's a couple stories. I listened to my brother's podcast, and there's something he said that I would like to add into it. So growing up together, to start off, my grandparents, who later told me later on in life that the birth in the early infancy of me and my brother it was a hard one. I almost died due to lack of nutrition from the birth. Because it's twins,
yeah.
The way, it's in the 89 in China, it's different than the US. It's the healthcare system is different than here. So I was lack of nutrition, so I was like dying.
So even then, Mike was fucking with you.
I know, right? And so basically, like for the twins, one's on top, one's on the bottom in the womb, and the top one gets the nutrient first, and then gets then the bottom one gets the nutrient. So basically, I get less nutrient because it filtered through Mike than me. So I came out like a pound less than my brother. So I was already like not that good, and I was dying.
Which is crazy because like we talked about off camera how you have a different personality than your brother does.
Yeah.
Your brother's a little bit more laid back. You're the more of the kind of like a father figure in a sense. Mm-hmm. You take everything a little bit more serious. So even in the womb, you were still kind of putting other people first.
Yes, not by choice.
Not by choice.
Yes. So I didn't know this until later on when I become older and I understand things, and then when I go back to visit my grandparents, they told me that.
Wow.
So one thing they told me that stuck up particularly is I was drinking milk, and I began to not breathe, to start turning purple. They rushed me to the hospital, and then they gave me that shot. I don't know how to translate the shot. It's for like people who are literally about to die. They like bring up them back to life.
Almost like an EpiPen in a sense?
Something like that, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. They brought me back. And from there they have to provide like nutrient and vitamins, stuff like that for me to basically try to live. And they give me the air tube, whatever, for the baby, like a month or two old, put the air tube in there, and
the nasal canals,
nasal canal for oxygen and stuff. So I didn't know that was me. And here's the messed up part that my grandma told me, and really stuck with me. But again, this is gonna lead to later on the story. Okay, is that my mother at the time said, well, at least one will survive.
Wow.
They took it. She took it as like, I have two, but if one passed, at least I have another one to go on. And that really hit me hard.
So when did you hear that? How old were you when you heard that?
In my 20s, when I go back to visit my grandparents.
How'd that make you feel?
That just add on to the trauma that I received growing up. That made me feel like I'm a piece of shit. I'm not worthy of my mother's unconditional love, which she never gives to me and my brother. So from there, I was lucky to be alive. And luckily at the time, my grandparents are middle class. So they can afford good, expensive import from America milk. What are the baby formulas?
Yeah, higher quality.
Higher quality. So it's very expensive. You're talking about 1989, 1990 in China.
It was a different time back
then. Different time. Totally different time. Things are imported. She told me, continue today. She even told me, I went back to China. I was in China a couple months ago to visit my grandparents. And they tell me the story again. They're like, dude, they tell me straight up, like, it's so expensive in that one store in the city. There's only one store imported from America, and they only import from my family because nobody else can afford it. But luckily, my grandparents are middle class. They're literally, everybody's giving money. My uncle, my aunt, everybody just put money together to buy that formula to give to me and my brother, just so that I can get a good nutrient so I can heal to be normal.
Yeah.
And then luckily, luckily it worked, and I survived. And then my brother and I, continue to grow up in China. Like he said, my parents, my mom and my father and mother got divorced when we were 4 years old, when she left us to America. And that's when my grandparents...
Did she give a reason why she left, or do you not?
She always wanted to go to America.
Okay.
She always... And my brother left out a couple little key detail stories that I remember when we were kids, unfortunately due to the trauma that we received. Before they were divorced, my mom and my real dad, biological father, they were fighting a lot. I remember even today, I can remember we were sitting on the bed crying, asking them not to fight. They were yelling and screaming at each other, causing so much trauma as a child.
Yeah.
I remember asking my grandma, what do I do? And my grandma told me that, hey, just tell them to stop fighting. And that's what I did, but they never stopped. They're yelling at each other, which scares the 3-4-year-old of me and my brother.
Oh, absolutely.
I didn't mean to jump timeline here, but the only reason why, and also I remember more than my brother, I think, is because I forgot where I heard this from, but we get to live our childhood twice. One as a child, the other one as a parent. I am a parent of two young children, and by raising them, it brings me back memories of when I was young, how my parents treated me, and that is key difference between my brother and I. So,
and how does it affect your parenting skills or your parenting path now, from remembering back what happened to you?
I'm very careful. I wanted the buck to stop here. I don't want to pass down that generation trauma to my children. That's why I'm seeking help, seeking therapy, and get to be more aware of what's going on. That way I don't pass it down to my children. They don't experience what I experienced. And I kind of figure a little bit out about the main thing. It's the unconditional love from parents passing down to their children. Me and my brother never received that. We don't even know what that means, the unconditional love. We got it from our grandparents, but that's a little bit different.
Right.
You know?
It's not the same from when your mother and your father, right?
No, it's not. And my father, I can't blame him, but he was an alcoholic. He come home drunk. I remember one time when, this is after the divorce, he come back drunk, so drunk that he just come home, walk up, didn't say anything, and boom, lay on the bed. And my stepmom at the time have to help with me and my brother, help him take the clothes off, get him to bed. That is my dad at the time. Jeez. And I'm so glad that my grandparents, my grandma, grandpa, my father's side, okay, not my mother's side, my father's side, grandparents took me and my brother in and raised us as their own.
Thank God.
Thank God. They are the reason why we are the way we are today. It really is. They taught us what's right from wrong be a good person in the beginning. In the very early age, they taught us to do good. Don't steal, don't cheat, be a good person. And because of that, I received that, because that imprinted into us at an early age. And I think that plays a role later on when I moved to America, that I didn't turn into like other things like drugs and stuff like that, you know.
And it's so easy for you to do that in that type of environment growing up with your two parents. Absolutely.
Yes.
So, I was just going to say, excuse me, from listening to your remembrance of your childhood, thinking back to Mike's episode, it seems like your grandparents, you know, you were saying like they taught you right from wrong. Seems like they were the ones also to teach you guys love, honestly. Like
they did.
Just from what you guys have said, like it I don't know. My eyes are welled up over here hearing your story, and I don't know, man. It's tough.
They showed unconditional love from they took over the parenting job. One story I remember in particular is they take it very seriously about my academic, even though me and my brother sucked. He explained to you guys. We're like the bottom two, the bottom two in class. So after we picked up our test from the trash can, we bring it back to my grandparents. It's kind of, it really shows that they truly love us. My grandma would take me to the side, me and my brother, and teach us the problem that we did wrong.
Right.
Meanwhile, my grandpa took the test as a big piece of paper with maybe 50 questions with drawings and work. We don't have printers at the time. My grandpa took a pen. He brought the same piece of paper. He copied it. He wrote the question and draw the picture. Literally copied it, the same thing, but by hand, in ink, and gave to me and my brother after my grandma teach us how to do the problem. Then we redo the test again to show that. It took him like hours to rewrite and draw the same picture of the test.
Right.
And then gave it to us after, and then it took my grandma hours to teach us what to do, and then we redo it. That's, I mean, what do you call that? Like
that's love.
Yeah, that's love. That's like they want us to have a better future to learn this.
Because a lot of parents wouldn't do that.
No, nowhere near. And I still remember my grandpa just, I remember it's because of the pictures on the test that was printed, and what he tried to copy by drawing the picture is like, you can tell he tried, but it looks nothing like it, but he tried. It's hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
stick figures.
Yeah, but he tried to copy, but it's so funny. I just remember that.
Good. Hats off to him.
Yeah.
So well, you said, so these were your paternal grandparents, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
My father's side, yes.
Did you have a relationship with your maternal grandparents, or?
I'm sorry, maternal.
Your mom's.
Your mother's.
I do, but not as close.
Yeah.
Because there's a reason behind that. Like the way my mother is, I didn't figure that out until later on in life. Through therapy, I realized that why did my mother never give me the unconditional love a mother should? It's because she never received it from her parents.
Yeah.
How could she give something that to me when she never had it in the first place?
So she didn't even know how to love like that.
She doesn't know. And I feel bad for her.
Yeah.
And I guess that kind of leads into my next question, was I was going to ask, like, is this not like a generational thing, but like, was your mother brought up in a different time where like they were harder on people? Because, you know, how old your grandparents are? How old?
My grandparents now is in their 90s.
So they were brought up. They saw
the Cultural Revolution.
Right.
Yeah,
well, that's kind of what I was going to say.
The famine.
Oh God.
Yeah, all that stuff. They grew up in a very frugal area, a time frame where China was like at its worst. People were dying from like everything.
And they were going to go ahead, sorry, finish your thought.
I was going to say, like, at that point, it was what, like, I don't want to say warlords, but you had different sects of China, right? It wasn't a unified China like we think of today, right?
It was different at the time. Are you talking about my grandparents or my parents?
Your grandparents.
Oh no, my grandparents. So in the 1930s, so you got the experience the Japanese invading China, then the World War II, and then the Cultural Revolution, right? And then from there, then it continue to try to develop. It gets better after the Cultural Revolution a little bit, and then there's a lot of stuff going on during the during the 1900s for China, and it's not good. It is not good.
You even look at like how like divided in a way China was leading up to World War II. Like, I mean, you had different. I don't know what the warlords, I guess, is like the proper way to describe them. I think like different. They weren't tribes, but you had different sects.
They were controlling.
Like, there were prior to World War II, there were sects that were aligned with Japan. We're going off on a history rant.
There's a whole history.
Carrie's tism's kicking in.
It's really kicking in. I guess my question is, like, was your mom's upbringing integral in how she kind of like treated you guys and things of that nature, just because it was a totally different China than when your grandparents were
100%.
brought up?
Yes, because my mother's parents were very poor peasants, and they grew up. My mother never get the love she needed. She came from a family of 5, and they never got their unconditional love from their parents, and so I don't really ask too much about it because I'm not that closer to my mother than my brother is, my twin brother Mike.
Right.
And so I try to, but I know that she definitely have her own battles to fight. She never got that unconditional love from her parents. That's all I know. I don't know exactly too much about their root background and stuff like that.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
And I mean, for your grandparents, like growing up in that low income point in time in China, to the fact of then they start taking you and your brother on and raising you guys as their own, and then also taking that extra step to spend that extra money on that formula that you needed so desperately to just survive, right? I mean, that's true love. They're going to
100%.
that.
They sold the house. They're willing to give up everything to keep me and my brother, mostly me, alive and get the nutrition needed or give us a better future.
Yeah.
In their head, it's true, 100%. In their head, it's always about the next generation. So they want their children to live better than them.
Yeah.
And they want their grandchildren to live better than their children. And then, of course, I want my children to live better than me.
Yeah.
It should be a upper climb, generation by generation.
Even though you experience all that trauma, brother, I'll say this from my point of view of knowing you and your brother, you guys are extraordinary men. Extraordinary men with great head on your shoulders. I've heard nothing but compliments from your brother's episode of how amazing of a person he is, and you're the exact same way. From what you've had to experience and the lack of love and the excess of trauma that you received, you could have easily just gone down that path that your grandparents were teaching you not to go down. You listened, and you lead your life by example. And from my heart to you, man, like,
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Like, you're a phenomenal man. You're a phenomenal father. You're a phenomenal husband, and you're a phenomenal friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. And all thanks to my grandparents who said that very straight in my very early age.
Yeah.
Because when we came to America, that's a different story.
So let's dive into when you came to America.
Before that, can I just say?
Yeah, please.
I want to add one little thing. Do you guys remember my brother said the kid in kindergarten got in trouble, they strip him naked? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So there's a chopstick story I want to say real quick.
Oh, please.
So there's a kid, it's a troublemaker. He always get in trouble. Kindergarten, again. I remember this because it's still traumatic for me. I can't believe they did that.
Do you still look at chopsticks the same way?
No. So the story is, this kid made up fun of some girl. I guess he threw a chopstick at a girl and made her cry, and she would report to the teacher. The teacher stripped him naked in the middle of the room, and everybody in class get to grab a chopstick, lined up, and just threw at him.
Holy crap.
Dude, I remember that because I was like, damn, that sucked to be him because I don't wish to be there.
Brother, like, so you've been in school in China. You've been in school in the United States.
Yes.
Could you even imagine that happening here?
Dude, if that happened, I'll be a very, very wealthy man. I'll be suing like no tomorrow. But that's
if it happened to my kid, I go dark. I go to a dark place.
That is,
I'd be in jail.
Oh yeah. I mean, it goes to a different culture and different mindset. Whatever happened that day, It will never happen again in China now because it's a different generation, different mindset. The culture has changed. It doesn't work that way anymore.
Yeah,
but
thank God.
Yeah, thank God. Man, it should be. But there's other worse story I heard about teacher making kids eat poop and stuff like that.
Holy fuck!
That story I heard from other people in China saying, hey, you think that's bad? It's teacher making kids eat poop because they don't listen or something like that as a punishment. I'm like, what? And yeah, it's crazy. But
oh, dude, my mouth is open. I'm dumbfounded. I'm dumbfounded.
That stuff I'm sure it happened back in the 90s, late 80s and early 90s, but it's changed. It has changed.
Yeah. If I found out the teacher made my kid eat poop, you guys, we'd be doing the podcast in jail.
Oh, for sure, dude. For sure.
I'd be having a jumpsuit on.
It's nuts.
I think my first question would be, what did you do wrong?
Probably something small. I mean,
all right. Now we're going to handle it.
Oh, yeah. So let's transit. Oh my God, dude. That's still, I'm at a loss for words on that one. That's insane.
It's different. Different time. Different, just totally different times.
Different culture, different time. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
So speaking about culture, speaking about different times. So when you came to the United States, that had to have been a culture shock for you and your brother. Not just let alone like you left your safe place. I know it sounds a little crunchy, but you guys left your safe place of your being loved by your grandparents to then now you're with your mom and you guys literally have no one besides you and your brother.
Yes, and to dive a little bit detail on that, I have a story for you.
Oh, I'm ready.
When we first got to when we first got to America, we don't speak any English. Okay, the only two words I know is apple juice and orange juice, and thank you. Actually, 3 words. Why? Because the flight attendant is American, and I want to drink orange juice. I have to say orange juice on the airplane. That's how I know that I remember it.
And it's also delicious.
Oh, it's amazing.
Horrible for you, but delicious.
Yes. So the first couple nights when we arrived into America in the house where we all live, where I grew up at, we were jet lagged. So I was up at 2-3 in the morning. My mother's jet lagged as well, with my aunt, her sister, who was living with us at the time, to help babysitting my baby sister, who was 3 months old at the time.
How real quick? I don't mean to cut you off, but like, how was that as well? It's like seeing your brother, like your siblings.
Oh, I love them.
Awesome.
We love my little sister. She's like chubby baby. She's really chubby baby. We love babies. We love them. My little brother was like 4 or 5 years old. Great kid. Love him to death.
And your relationship to this day is also
yes. We during the growing up there was a little confrontation.
Yeah.
Between my brother and I and those two, because obviously we have different father, and they get to receive both parents' love, or we get to receive just I won't even call it love. It's more
attention.
Attention, yes, exactly. Attention. To us growing up is actually before I get there, let's go back to that night when I woke up. Yeah,
sorry.
So the first couple of nights I was still jet lagged. I woke up 2 a.m. I was walking down the stairs, trying to see what's going on, trying to get something to drink something, and I see the kitchen lights on. So I sat on the stairs. I still remember this today, and I talked this to my therapist as well, because this really shocked me. Okay, really put a reality check on me and my brother. We're sitting there, and I can hear my mother talking very loudly with my aunt, and she says, "Screw those kids. All I care about is the other two, Maggie and Chris, which is my young half brother, half sister. She don't really care about me and my brother. Basically that." I said that, I heard it, I was like, oh my God. And I went up to my brother, woke him up. Me and him both sat on the stairs listening to them talking about how they really don't care about me. They see me and my brother as a burden, and they want to take care of the other two. That's like first week I was in America.
And that's your mom's sister.
My mom said that to my sister.
To your mom's sister?
No, I'm sorry. My mom said to her sister.
Yeah.
They were talking about.
Wow.
I heard that. I was like, oh my God, what is going on? I said, let me know. I don't know what's going on. Why would she say that? I didn't know my mother was like that. I thought it was all an act.
At 11 years old, that's what you heard.
It was all an act. Yes. So from there, okay, let's see action worth more than words. Let's see what her action is. I can see every time we go to school, any field trip that costs more money, she complains. To the point where I'm afraid to tell my mom, hey, we have a field trip and need some money. No, she complains, oh, I can't believe you want more money from me. Oh, look, the school lunch, $30 a month. Oh, look, another school lunch. What the heck? Like, she always complain about money, spending money, or invest in me and my brother. She always does that. And you can tell, I can tell clearly because when I was in China, my grandparents, they spent money to teach us piano, teach us swimming, take us to English lessons, which I didn't learn anything, but that was a bad investment.
Yeah,
But,
apple juice, orange juice.
yeah, well, I didn't even learn that. I learned that from the flight attendant. Anyway, I realized it was all a lie. It was all a lie, man. My grandma was telling me that she talked to my mom before I went to America. Then my mom was like, they have a car, they're going to be great and live an amazing life. It was all a lie. So my mom never invested any money in me and my brother on any extracurricular activities. Even when we do ask her for money, she do give us money for field trip. She complains. It made me feel like I'm a burden to her. It made me feel like I'm just there. And she's just like, here's some money, leave me alone, kind of thing.
That's exactly what you want to feel after being, in a sense, felt like you're abandoned for how many years of your life. That's exactly what you want. You're in a brand new world.
Yes.
You know nothing.
I don't even speak the language.
You feel isolated, and that's what you want to feel from your mother. Is the only support system you have besides your brother is, you're a burden to them, especially after you heard what you heard. Holy crap.
I was shocked. That's why I remember those days, because I was shocked at the time when I heard it. So even that left a very deep wound inside me. And even now today, I feel like it was yesterday. I remember sitting on the stairs, not going all the way down, just sitting there listening to them talking.
Yeah.
And they were talking bad about me and my brother, taking us as we are the burden to them. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
I'm going to cut you off. Can you take one real quick break?
So let's move on a little bit to my stepfather.
Okay.
My mom met him. I think it's definitely when she was in China, still married to my father. I think they met. Last time I heard, he was her English teacher, and they got married. They basically decide, he's to take her to America. So she divorced my father, and they went to America. They start their own life.
So that was the cause of the divorce.
I think
along
so.
With other issues.
Along with other issues,
Yeah.
Of course, there's other issues. There's always other issues. When they came here, they had two kids. 1996, I think, my brother was born, and then 2000, my sister was born.
Did you guys know about that at the time when you were in China?
Yes.
Your mom tell you? Okay.
Yes. Yes. And I have no negative opinion about them. They're awesome people,
Yeah.
But my stepdad, growing up in the U.S., he has my mother's back. I'm gonna be fair. He does always have my mother's back on everything. But I remember one thing that he did the most that really hurted me is when he spanked me for something I did in English class. I cheated on a spelling test. I got caught. And so the teacher is like told my parents, and then he took a belt and spanked me with it.
It's a little excessive for cheating.
Yes, but dude, I gotta be honest with you, man. This English class, every end of the week, we have to memorize 20 words.
Sight words, yeah.
Yeah, and then we have to write it down. Complete bullshit, man. Like, what the heck am I doing? Force me to memorize some random ass word that I'm never gonna need. Either way.
Unless you're like carrying, you're using tumultuous.
Yeah. Either way, it's just, I got caught. My fault. Own up to it. It is what it is. So yeah, he beat me to it. But in the end, he's a guy I no longer spoke to. So I don't know him that well anymore. But before growing up, he was there. And he provides, But towards the end, my mother divorced him as well.
Okay.
When we left for the military. So towards the end, around 07-ish, 06, 07, they were already separating. So I can feel it. So it was a little distance between both of them.
Is your mom married now?
Yes, she's married for the third time.
Okay.
And funny story is, at that time where I first met that guy was a couple of years ago. He came up to me. He's like, "Hey, Kevin, I guess I'm your stepdad." And I'm already like 20-some years old. I'm like, look at him like, dude, don't even play with that, man. I'm like, okay, what the heck?
You're not my step nothing.
No, exactly, dude. You call me by... He's a nice guy. I'll give him that. He's a nice guy. He treated my mom good. So that's fine, yeah. But the joke he threw at me, I don't blame him for it because he doesn't know the past. He just thought like, hey, he thought he was being a funny guy, and that's why I was like, oh, okay, ha ha ha. But in the end, I was telling my wife later, I'm like, what the hell this guy think he is? You know,
the fuck does he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What the heck? So yeah, no, that was later on, but I don't blame him.
You're like, I'm a grown ass man. I serve my fucking country.
Yeah,
like,
I don't need him to come here, but like, hey, I'm your third daddy or some shit.
Yeah,
you know? I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So my mom got remarried. She's currently still married to him, and they live in Florida.
Okay.
So yeah. So he's like a doctor or something. So yeah.
As long as she's happy, long as he's treating her correctly, I guess that's all you really could ask for, right?
Yes. Yeah. And yeah, as long as she's happy, and yeah.
So if you don't have anything else about your kind of your childhood, you want to start transitioning into your military career?
Yeah. Yeah. So I joined the Marines at 2007, but we enlisted at age 16, I think. Yeah, 16. We enlisted in the Marines in the delay entry program. Not just because we want to become a Marine, because it stands for the first to fight, the most elite, most elite fighting force on earth. There's also another part of it that I want to explain. It's my mother constantly telling me and my brother that when we turn 18 years old, we will be kicked out of the house. We're no longer allowed to be in the house. So me and my brother have that fear as well. It's like, what can we do? We have no way out. We have no financial backing. We have, after high school, we'll be kicked out of the house. We have no home. We'll be homeless.
Zero support, yeah.
No support. Zero support. What can we do? Boom, military is the solution.
How'd she feel about you guys joining the military?
She's happy with it.
Really?
Yes.
Not, oh my God, my sons could possibly be killed.
No.
It's, thank God you found something.
Yes. Thank God for something.
Wow.
Well, at least that's how I took it.
Right.
Because I never felt that love from her. So why should she care? If she truly cared, she would be like, oh man, that's messed up. We'll help you, Kevin, Mike. I'll help to pay for college or help you out. You still have a room to stay at this home. We don't have that. Our back is against the wall. When your back is against the wall, you fight even harder. Me and my brother now. So it just worked out. It's like a push and pull. We are already interested in that position, interested in like become a Marine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then with that push of get the heck out of my house when you turn 18, it's still the deal.
Now, do you think it was her that was saying you out at 18, or do you think it was a combination of like her and your stepfather?
It's her.
Her.
Yeah, my stepdad would. I really don't talk to him that much anymore. So the memories is a little fuzzy. I don't want to say anything that I don't remember.
No, for sure.
But mainly it's my mother who's always providing for us. And also keep in mind, she's been treating us like different than how she treated my younger brother and sister. Like we receive secondhand clothing while they get new clothes.
Yeah.
She go to like thrift shop and buy stuff for us. And it does play a very serious mental effect and self-ego effect while we go into high school.
Absolutely.
That's why we got it. Yeah.
Because like at that point in time in life, like everything is superficial, especially at that age and those kids. Like you're walking around in second, like hand-me-down jeans, hand-me-down shoes, hand-me-down shirt, and kids are fucking cruel.
Yes.
Cruel.
And with that, I want to end this with one last story.
Yeah, please.
So my mom and stepdad really never take us to a nice restaurant to eat. Okay, the only two restaurants I can remember is Old Country Buffet, which I still think is awesome, and then some Chinese buffet that we go to all the time. That was the only two restaurants we every time we go out, that was it. Never like Applebee's, nothing like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So during one of the school dance, after school dance, I was with a bunch of friends. They were talking about, hey, after we the dance, let's go to the restaurant and eat. And me being innocent as I could. Oh yeah, hey guys, let's go to Old Country Buffet. Oh my God, they were all laughing at me.
Oh, I bet you got so much shit.
Yeah, no. Well, we didn't go because they were laughing at me.
Yeah, they give you shit about.
They give me shit.
That.
Yeah, they shit. Oh, what the heck? We're not going to buffet for that. I didn't know any better because to me at the time I was like, that was the best restaurant I know because that's the only one I was exposed to.
Fucking A, Kev,
dude. I was like, what the heck? It was a shock for me. I was like, what happened? Nobody liked Country Buffet. I told that to my wife. She was like, oh, Kevin. I was like, I don't care. We're going to Old Country Buffet anyway. It's still.
I love Old Country Buffet.
I was going to say, hold on. Like, OCB is not really that bad. I mean, like.
It's not, but they want to go to a little fancier restaurant, not a buffet. But at the time, to me, that was the fanciest restaurant I was ever. And I was like, I was shocked a little bit. I was like, oh, they're all laughing at me. You know?
I do have to ask,
Yeah.
what was the Chinese buffet?
I think they closed. I don't remember.
It was,
exactly.
it was probably trash, especially after coming from China and getting like legit
Bro.
fucking Chinese food.
Yeah, you can't.
That's
You can't
fucking
compare.
even like the Rising Sun and all the shit around
Yeah.
here is fucking trash compared to what a legit authentic Chinese
Oh
is.
yeah, you gotta go to Chinatown here to go eat some real Chinese.
Have you ever
food.
been to Strings in the south side of Chicago?
No, but that's Japanese, I think.
It is, but
Yes, yeah.
it's still fucking delicious.
Oh yeah, they have a string in Aurora.
Aurora? Ooh,
Yeah, in the Park to Shop
no
the
shit.
outlet. There's a string there. I've been there. That's what.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's ramen noodles. Yeah,
Oh, dude, I love ramen.
ramen's good.
I'm a slut for ramen.
You gotta go to Japan, man.
Fucking start culturing me, all right?
Yeah, you got if you in Japan, you probably won't want to come back. It's like the food is amazing and the entertainment is even better. Trust me, you will love it. You guys both should go.
Wait, are we doing a road trip?
I don't know. I got a thing with Japan.
I know you do. Carrie's autism's kicking in. He's never forgiven them since Pearl Harbor.
Oh man,
Never forget.
yeah, it's different now, man. I'm telling you. I was in Japan when I was in the. Well, let's get to the military part. Yeah.
After camera, we're gonna talk about a road trip. We're gonna start planning here.
For sure.
Let's talk
For sure.
about you and the Marines. Which is more important.
Oh, so 2007, me and my brother finally joined the Marines. Again, he said we graduated high school in 3 years. We did. And then we went to boot camp when we were 17. We turned 18 in boot camp. June 11th till June 20th is when we turned 18. So June 11th is when we went to boot camp. On my mom's birthday, we left. Yeah, so we kept our word. We left the house before we turned 18. That way she doesn't have to kick us out. So we're there, boot camp, same thing. Graduated boot camp. And then we went to School of Infantry, graduate school infantry, and then we were assigned to 3rd Battalion, 1st Marines. Boss of the Corps.
So, did your mom ever like talk to you afterwards, or she say like, "I'm so proud of you. Thank you I'm so proud of you for doing something with your life, for joining the military." Did she say anything at that time?
She did. When we graduated, she showed up. She showed up to say, "Hey, I'm proud of you," and this and that. I'm like, okay, but to me at that time, it just words because action. I never felt her true love. I never felt the parental love from her.
Yeah.
So whatever she says is just words.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, cool, thanks, mom, I appreciate it. And at least she said it. And then we graduated School of Infantry. Nobody showed up. It's whatever, no big deal. They went to the fleet, and then our first deployment. Well, I'm sorry, that's the hazing part, right? Did my brother say the extra training, extracurricular activity they do? Dude,
training.
let's straight up just tell the truth. It's hazing. Straight up hazing. The fleet, back in 07, 08, hazing is no joke.
Yeah.
Man. We were getting hazed. I was like scrubbing the catwalk 2 a.m. with a freaking toothbrush or scotch brush. I mean, it's just, yeah. But it has changed. It has changed for the better.
For sure.
Yeah. So, and then we went to our first deployment to Asia, Japan, Hong Kong, Philippines, trained with these military. So it was a good time. I have no complaint on that. That was awesome.
We had a blast.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh.
It was. There's stuff I'm gonna say, but I'm saying it's definitely if I get to relive my life again, I'll do that part over again.
I'm sure there's some stories you could tell off camera.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. It was a good time.
Is there one story you could tell on camera?
I mean, no, but
Okay.
no, it's nothing. It's good times, guys. It's good times. Yeah, it's
Get the
good
experience
times.
of yourself join the Marines.
Yeah, join the MU, the Marine Expedition Unit. That's the best part of the Marines. You get the combat set, and then you get an adventure set where you go and travel a little bit and train with foreign militaries. So I trained with the Japanese Self-Ground Defense Force and Filipino recon Marines.
Anyone else, or just those two?
Just those two. My brother get to go to Korea.
Okay.
And he get to train with the ROK Marines and the Republic Korea Marines. He get to train with them while I'm in Japan training with the Japanese Self-Ground Defense Force.
So out of the 3 units that you and your brother trained with, what would be the most badass elite?
I never trained with the ROK Marines, so I don't know how good they are. I'm sure they're awesome. But the Filipinos, man,
Dude.
they are another level.
I've heard of that.
Dude, they were teaching us how to do their knife fighting skill. Chop, chop. These guys are short and skinny, but they can fight. They can.
yeah,
I mean,
fuck you up.
they're you know how the Marines get the worst gear in the entire U.S. military.
Yeah.
Same for them. They're using M16s, dude. M16 with no iron sight.
Iron sights.
I mean, these guys will go out into the woods, in the jungle, and tell us what to eat, what not to eat, what the plants are good or bad. Really cool stuff. And there's laser, not laser, little creepy crawlies walking around. They're like, hey, don't eat that. Those things eat dead flesh, so don't eat those. And they can create different traps to catch fish. I mean, I learned so much from them. Like, they humbled me. These skinny little guys who can fight. They can fight.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So to kind of echo that, not
Yeah.
with the Filipino Marines, but I had a buddy that was a Ranger.
Yeah.
And this is like, so he went in late 70s after Vietnam, and he went to the Philippines to fight with the Philippine Rangers who were facing, I don't know the whole history of the battle, but they were facing guerrilla fighters, and that was something he mentioned quite frequently, was just how badass these Philippine Rangers were. Like he was blown away by their skill, their level of fighting and everything. And like they saw some shit over there, from the stories he had to tell.
Because they have to actively fight against the terrorists over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no, they're good. They're a good group of guys.
Squared away for sure.
Yeah, square. And here's the story. I get to kill.
Let's go.
In the end of our training session for like 2 weeks, they have a feast for us where they cook a bunch of food. They put on the coconut leaves. We all sit on the ground and just eat with our hands. In the middle, there's like rice, fish, whatever. And there's pigs. We got to kill 4 pigs. I was chosen to kill one of them. So I took a Marine Corps K-bar, and they tied on like a 200-pound pig, tied up by the feet, and the 3 of them holding them down. And all I have to do is stab into the neck and twist and kill it. Holy cow, dude. That was an experience. I was freaking stabbing right into it, and I was just, the screaming was so loud, it was like hurting my ear. And then, I get to eat the pig. I get to kill a pig and eat the pig. So it was awesome. It was awesome.
We're going. We're doing a road trip.
All right,
Kill a pig, eat one.
we're going to the Philippines. We're
Philippines.
going to Japan.
We're doing
We're going
all
to
of it.
China.
Yeah, Japan's really good too, though.
We're doing it all.
Yeah, Asia trip.
I was just going to say, let's do all of Asia.
Yeah.
Hit it all.
I'm in. Sold.
Oh, yeah.
I'll book the flight now.
Good stuff.
Hey, before we continue, let's take a real quick break.
Yeah, 2009 we came back. We did a year and a half workup. I mean, we went through every training. I'm talking about mountain warfare training, jungle warfare. That was in Japan, and then like urban warfare, desert, everything, just to get ready for the push to Afghanistan.
What was your favorite training?
I want to say mountain warfare.
Okay.
But it sucked because it's freaking cold.
Cold.
Yeah, even though I was there in the summer, it was still cold.
Just imagine being in the winter.
Yeah, exactly. Which they do have a winter package. Thank God I didn't do that. Thank God. So, it was beautiful.
Knowing how they fund the Marines, you'd have socks on your hand as gloves.
Exactly. So it was beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I was there as a team leader. I was promoted to team leader. So I was
At what, 19, 20 years old?
20 years old.
That's awesome.
19, 20 years. That time frame. I was TL for fire team leader. So it was like I got 3 guys under me. So
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then we were going through training, climbing mountains to the point where it's so high up you have to get used to. Otherwise you get the acute mountain sickness, like where you get dizzy and all that stuff.
Dude, the elevation's no joke.
It was no joke. But it's beautiful, man. Like
Gorgeous.
the valley, yeah, it's gorgeous. And then I went back again when I was in the reserve. Me and my brother went back to the reserve back in 2012 or 13.
Okay.
We went back. I was a platoon sergeant at the time. And I took over. I was a sergeant, but I was taking over as a platoon sergeant. I ran through the whole package again. That was awesome.
Oh, I bet.
Because as a platoon sergeant, I can do like no more night watch. I just, there you go.
You do this. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, but I took good care of my guys. So I'll make sure they're good. You know?
You're one of the good leaders because you don't forget where you came from. There's a lot of guys, and I talked to this about your brother. Like a lot of people forget where they come from.
Yeah, and they can't do that, man. That's
No.
Especially we leading people that we've been in their shoes.
Yeah, man.
Try to be empathized with them, you know?
Remember, because you remember when you were like brand new in the unit. You remember exactly what it was like being trained.
Yes.
Or hazed.
Oh, I was never about that stuff.
Right, exactly. So you didn't forget, and
Yes.
that's what makes a great leader. But that translates into law enforcement. We'll get down to that point later in the road. So
Yes.
let's continue on.
So after the workup, we were deployed to Afghanistan, May 2010. If you Google it and or ask ChatGPT, whatever you would do these days, 2010 is the deadliest year. We took the most casualty in the entire Operation Enduring Freedom, in the entire war on Afghanistan. 2010 was the worst. So during the spring offensive.
Yeah.
So May we got there. We were trained at Camp Leatherneck for 2 weeks. It was super hot. We're learning how to do IEDs, blah, blah, blah. all that stuff. And then boom, they fly us to all the FOBs, the area where we're going to operate.
Forwarding operating bases.
Yes, 4 operating bases. When we got there, the thing is, when we got there, there was 4 different positions that we need to be at. Each squad need to be able to operate at each one of the FOBs.
Before we get to that, so your brother was in one unit. What unit were you in?
We were in the same unit.
Same unit?
Different company.
Different company, okay.
Yeah, so you got Lima company, it's my brother's.
Yeah.
India company, and then Kilo company.
And your guys' missions was kind of the same.
Same, exactly.
Different unit. Right.
Like different, yeah. So the entire company's area of operations is like huge. Then you divide the different company at different part of our area of operation. And so when we got there, I was a fire team leader at the time. They need 4 squads, not 3 squads. So at the time, they're going to make something up. They're basically saying, we're going to take 2 leadership from the 3 squads, make a new 4th squad. Everybody gave up a couple of people. Boom, I got picked. And there's another guy. He got picked. Both of us are corporals. We become squad leaders / assistant squad leaders. And then a couple guys from different squad that will munch us together. We are the 4th squad. And we got the bitch work, basically.
Right.
So there's like 8 of us, and we just go where they tell us to go. So each squad have their own little area to work on. They can be alone, away from supervision. We are stuck in the platoon level, but we still do everything we do, and every day do a patrol, and go make friends with the villages, meet new people. Kids love us. They're like, America, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. It was good.
Yeah.
But that's the hold part. In the entire mission, like I explained earlier, it's clear, hold, and build. Marines are there to clear. You clear. The first phase is clearing the entire place, free from IEDs and insurgents, the Taliban are fighting them. And then you hold the location, you hold the area that you just cleared, and then begin to build the infrastructure, the bridge, the road, and also the school. Try to help them, right?
Right.
So we're like in the little bit back. So we're like at the hold and build stage where I was at. And then we get to but we get to push up to the front line during the spring offensive in June. That's where my platoon got into that's where basically everybody got into their first gunfight, where the videos come in play. It's when we go to the clear stage, where we moved all the way down south to Gamshir district, I believe, in 2010. And then we begin to push into the enemy line, into the red. So we can clear everything. And that way we can sweep for IEDs, clear the road, and hold it, and again, build it. Eventually take over the entire province.
Right.
So that's where it all started. So June comes. We're about a month into country. We're like, okay, getting used to the heat a little bit, the time, everything. All right, let's do this. They truck us, armored trucks all the way down, like a couple hours south, to the farthest forward observation FOB there is. And in there, they tell us, hey, look, anything further than that is enemy territory. We're going to get shot. So your job is to push in, clear, and hold. And then you got the armored vehicle with the mine sweeping and everybody. They're going to slowly clear the road. Work up to you guys. It's like a 3-day mission. Like my brother said, 3-day mission where we end up like 7-8 days in,
Yeah.
So like, okay, cool. Let's do this. Sorry to readjust myself. And then, so basically after the brief, we were ready. We're ready. Everybody's ready. Our job is very simple. Push into the village, hold the ground, and then begin operating patrol bases, which is just set up patrol base and then pick a house, set it up, and then patrol the area. Make sure there's no insurgency, no IEDs, nothing, and wait for the reinforcement to come up to us. It was like June. I know it was like 2-3 days before my birthday. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
So we were pushing. So the day start off is, okay, after the mission brief, we all loaded up, full combat load, everybody's ready to go. Let's do this. It was psyched. It was hot. It was like 130 degrees that day. Clear sky, like every day.
Right.
We begin to walk. It was the combat engineer that's attached to my platoon. He had a minesweeper, combat engineer. He was sweeping for the IED. then it's my sergeant, then it's me, and the SOC gunner in a single file line. And then the platoon, everybody run behind us, forming in a single line. That's it. So if we take contact in the front, only one person can shoot unless we move up to them, it takes time. It takes time, but that's the only way we can do it because the IED is so bad over there. It is so bad. So we begin to go, walking. About a couple, it's been 15 years, so I don't remember exactly the time, but it's like 20, 30 minutes into the walk, we found an IED.
Of course.
Cool. Marked it. Push past it. We got pushed into the village. The village is all mud walls. You can see the mud walls and some buildings.
And those things are durable.
Oh, they can stop like a 20 millimeter cannon. That's a thick mud walls. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll be walking. I'm just walking, look to my left, look to my right. Checking in a single file. Sniper somewhere else, try to see everything. Then just hear, da 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 da. It started. I remember watching my sergeant just drop on the ground. And I'm like, okay, cool, drop. All right, standard operation procedure. When you hear fire, first drop down, then repel enemy assault, and then start firing back, right? So I'm like, I can't. I have no idea where they're firing from. And they have a effective firing on us because it was hitting right next to me.
Right, because they've been set up. They were waiting for you guys to roll up. Absolutely.
Yes, and they were ready for us. They were ready. We were exactly where they want us to be, and they were ready. They got IED in the that we marked in the middle of the patrol. They got IED exactly where they are, and they got multiple machine gun fire at us.
Yeah,
Bell-fed machine guns, AKs, whatever, hidden positions. And from there, they also have snipers probably because that's how my buddy got shot probably.
Yeah.
Okay. So from there, I was just laying there, waiting for, just trying to figure out what the heck just happened. Try to figure out what the enemy is. I can't even lift my head up because the dirt is the bullets was landing next to me, kicking the dirt, hitting my face, hitting everywhere. That I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get hit in the next couple seconds.
That's fucking close.
I was like, the fact that they missed me, I don't know how they can miss me.
If you're getting hit from debris from a bullet, it's fucking close.
Yes, it's accurate fire, effective fire.
Absolutely.
Pinned down. It was pinned down. I remember my sergeant was like, "We're pinned down. We can't shoot back. You guys behind us need to move up, like flank them or something." But they were getting attacked as well by sniper. That's when my buddy got shot in the neck. So it was a complex ambush where they were hitting people in the back. So we're in the front. We're in the kill box.
Yeah.
You know? And then they couldn't even help us. Reinforcement couldn't even get to us because they were getting pinned down by sniper fire and other fires from other part. So I was like, what the heck? From there, funny stories. I remember I said a little prayer. I was like, oh, I wasn't like really religious, but when you're facing death, you say whatever you want. I remember saying this. I was like, God, please let me live so I can go to a bar and drink legally. I just love bars. I just want to go back to the U.S. and have a nice drink in a bar, man. That's how I want it, legally. Because I was 20 at the time. I was only a couple of days before I turned 21. I was
right.
So let me live until I'm 21 so I can go home and have a legally can have a drink.
Right.
And I mean, obviously he answered me because
You're here now.
Yes. So after a while, I felt like a lifetime. But eventually I was like, in my head, I was like, where can I go? There's nowhere to hide. It's like a farm field.
Yeah.
And then remember about 15 feet behind me, there was a ditch where I'd have to jump over to where I'm at. So I'm like, that would be perfect cover position for me.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, okay, let's wait until they reload, wait until the bullet stops shooting. And then after a while, this became quiet. I was like, okay, they're reloading. So you got to keep in mind, I was wearing my full combat load with a backpack with about like 50, 60 pounds at least.
And how much did you weigh at the time?
Dude, with 10 magazines of 30 rounds, 300 rounds, with 12 grenades on my belt, and M16, A4, so it's a big one, not the M4, it's a big one with a grenade launcher on the bottom. Dude, I have to be at least 220 pounds, at least.
And how much did you weigh at, like, without all the gear? 160,
150.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, dude. That's a lot of weight on my back.
Yeah.
Because I carried the system where the jams, they gave me this box that they jam the cell phone signals so it doesn't set off IEDs. I have to carry that too in my backpack. So, and then including 3 days of MREs, meal ready to eat rations. So it was jam packed. So I slowly got up. The moment I got up, I hear ta 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 ta. I was like, crap! I just grabbed my gun, and started running. Adrenaline dump. I was like, fuck it, just keep running. From there, I was like looking. I want to look back to make sure I'm like where they're shooting from. I just see a trail of bullets landing behind me, following me where I run. Doom, 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 doom. And I see the ditch. I just launched it and landed right into the ditch. Landed on top of my rifle. From there, when I landed, I see the bullet hit past me, and I just see the berm in front of me. Like I'm inside the ditch, and just hit right there, like on the berm, on the surface, because it went over my head.
Holy shit!
It hit right in the berm. My dirt hit my face. I was like, holy crap, that was close. From there, I was like, okay, they have accurate fire. They can see me, and I have no idea where the heck they're at. No idea. I know they're somewhere like 100 meters in front of me in that village, probably behind those holes on the mud wall. They like drill holes so they can stick their AK out and start shooting. We call them murder holes. I know they're shooting from that, but I just don't know which one or where.
That's like the worst feeling. You don't know where the firing coming from.
I was pissed. I was like, what the fuck? So in a prone position with that heavy backpack, I tried to take it off. I take the backpack off of me, and then I scooch forward a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just get back up and start shooting. Start shooting. And I told my sergeant and tell him to relay to the guy in front of me, the command engineer guy, like, hey, come to me. I have a ditch. It's covered. It's good. Come to me. And they were able to run back to me.
Thank God.
From there, that's a couple hours. That's like an hour, 2 hours into it already. We began to shoot back. And I was like, I have a camera. Being a 20-year-old, still thinking like I was a kid at the time. Even though I'm 36 now, but I'm looking back, I was a 20-year-old kid. That was my first time in combat. I'm going to want to film this.
Oh, brother, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, I was like, fuck yeah. I put my camera out, I put it on my backpack, and I just start shooting. And that's where you see some of the videos I have. And yes, I did almost get in trouble for filming myself shooting because we're not supposed to do that, but I did it anyway. So
worth it.
Totally worth it.
Totally
because
worth it.
When my kids get older, I can show them like, hey, look, that's your father.
Yeah. Oh, dude, and you showed it to us, and it's amazing. It really
it's
for what it was. It's definitely it captures a point in time in your life, especially your first firefight. It's phenomenal.
Oh man,
we'll put it up for you guys to take a look at. It's amazing.
Yeah,
you should check it out.
We're gonna have a link in the description to the video.
Absolutely,
it's got a voiceover. It's
phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's there's a couple other ones, but that was the most intense one. So it was like 8 hours firefight. We were shooting back and forth, and my buddy they tried to call a CASVAC. Casualty evacuation with a helicopter. You would see in the camera the helicopter flew by.
Close. He flew in close.
Yes, they were trying to use the gun to shoot the village to keep the fire down, keep the enemy fire down. But the enemy has a higher fire security, and that's unfortunate because they have the better position than we do. We're in the middle of the field. They're in a fortified position. We heard on the radio. We heard that my buddy got shot in the neck, and then we don't know how good he is. But we're like, okay, we were all quiet for a second. Then my sergeant was like, he's a very smart guy, very good guy. He's a police officer as well. I forgot where. It's another state. I think Arizona.
Okay.
But he was like, hey, get back, get your head in the game. Let's keep fighting. So you just see us keep shooting.
Yeah, great sergeant.
There's only 4 of us in the front shooting while they're dealing with the back, and then sniper fire, this and that. Eventually, we held our position, the ditch. We couldn't move a feet further because they were shooting at us if we get out until nightfall. Nightfall, that's when the enemy retreat because we have night vision capability with lasers, so we'll be able to beat them on that. So they retreated.
Yeah, because we own the night. Sure.
We do own the night. From there, we break contact. We went back to our base. Just keep in mind, one part is eventually we have reinforcement caught up with us, and they try to push into the first compound of the village. They went in. It's rigged with IED. They went right back out. They're like, no, this is too much. No, can't. They came right back out with a 155 shell, the big one. And then the IED that we found, we marked during our patrol towards the village. The Afghan soldier tried to come up to it. They hit it. They were getting shot at, so they didn't know what's going on, and they accidentally hit it, and boom, they took casualty. Nobody died, but they took shockwave, all that. I mean, I was probably 50 meter just front of it. Dude, I felt a shockwave. I was like, whoa, that was a big one.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's no joke. So eventually, we basically in the end of the firefight, when there's nightfall, everything's over. I have a 30 round in my mag, in my gun, and then a grenade. And that was it. I felt like I was like a feather, so light.
Because you said you carried 10 magazines.
10 magazines, 30, 300 rounds, and then
one left.
12 40 millimeter grenade. In the video, you can see my grenade launcher was broken when I jumped into the ditch. So I have to. The only person that have another grenade launcher is gonna be my sergeant. So I have to keep tossing the grenade to my sergeant while he tossed to the assault gunner. The assault gunner then passed to my sergeant, and then he continued launching the grenade, the 40 millimeter grenade, into the compound.
And he was launching them because in the video you saw,
shoot anymore.
Asking, you literally just threw him one, and then like 2 seconds later he's like, give me another one.
Yeah.
You're like, oh god, you're trying to give me
and
more.
I was like, that was the last one. That was the last one. I told him that, and you will see that on the video. I said that. That was great.
What you mentioned in that voiceover on the video, what that M67 was for?
So the M67 grenade, it's a fragmentation grenade. It's a grenade, okay, that we carry in the U.S. We use that for either clearing a building with bad guys, or we use that for suicide.
Yeah.
Because me and many Marines knows that when we're down there, we're not gonna get captured. We're not gonna get captured by the Taliban, and then they're gonna cut our head off with a dull knife. That's not gonna happen. At least for me and everybody, I'm sure many are. We're gonna take as many of them with us. If worst come worst, that I would take that grenade, I hug one of them, I just fight them, and then blow everybody up with myself in there. That's
your mindset.
That is mindset. That is mindset. Is because I'd rather die than being captured.
Yeah.
I would die fighting standing than get captured by these Talibans.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sorry, get a little emotion there. This is I take it very seriously.
That's deep.
No,
it's a warrior's way, and I die what I stand for.
Absolutely.
I will never get captured.
So I think that leads into my next question with that is, so having that mentality, we're kind of like getting ahead of ourselves a little bit here. Having that mentality and then going back to civilian life and that transition, like, I can't fathom it, but I just can't think going from, I would rather pull this pin on this grenade and take as many of these guys with me and then come back and go get a Starbucks coffee. Like, when you got out, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Obviously not like the next day,
so,
but like.
When I got out, I went straight to college because, again, education is key, and that's what I was taught when I was a child. So I was like, you know what? Let's go to college, get my bachelor's. Thank goodness that I have the post 9/11 GI Bill. Awesome. Yeah. Amazing tool to use. Every veteran should use it.
Absolutely.
It's free for your college. It's a free bachelor degree for you. And you also have the IVG. But anyway, back to what I was saying, transition back to the civilian world, it was hard. It wasn't easy. After seeing raw combat for 6-7 months, come back, going to college, see these kids. And I don't blame them. I don't blame these kids. They don't understand what's going on. They're living in a totally different world.
Right.
And I'm over there to me, college was just a check in the box. I already know what I want to do. Thank goodness. I want to be a police officer because I want to continue to serve and help people. That's what I felt so good helping these African children, the smiles on their face when we give them candy, help them build school, make them feel safe to go to school. They thank us. I was like, you know what? What else can I do to do that for my own community? Is being a police officer, and that's where I went to school for, is criminal justice, and become a police officer.
Now, do you think, in your own mind, there's a connection there from when you grew up in China to when you see these children? You're like, I know it's a different like environment for them than it was for you in China, but in the same sense, you didn't really have a safe home life, or you didn't have like a safe like school life. So is there any correlation there, you think?
Yes. I see children being abused
Yeah.
I see children suffering from war-torn countries, and I want to be the light to help them because I was abused, and I was never received the love that my parents did. I never received the unconditional love, and I could see some of the children like that.
Right.
And I want to grow up to be the person to change that, at least help them to change that, to give them a better future. And I truly believe that because I see the smiles on their face when I was in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Now the clearing stage, that's the different part. The hold and build stage where we were building schools and helping them come to school, and women and children can go to school and learn. They were happy. They were smiling. They were waving. I spent my own money to buy stuff and give to them, like food and stuff like that. And nothing feels better than watching these kids, just helping them just grow up to live a better future.
Good chills.
Yeah, and I want to do that same in the U.S. because we have children here that needed to be helped. Every country has people that need help.
Yeah.
And I want to be there to help them. That's bottom line. It's to help. And due to what I know at the time, and the education and the capability I have, I choose to be a police officer because I get to continue to have that opportunity to go and help the people that are in need.
Well said.
That's basically.
Well said. And you're living proof of that. And we need more
it.
people like you in this world. We really do.
I appreciate it. I just it's never about the badge and the gun. To me, it's all about helping others.
Same.
To create a better life, a better community, a better society as a whole. That's what I really wanted. A better future for the next generation.
Make it better for them. Yeah.
Exactly.
And you do the same thing for your children. You had your life growing up, and you want to give them a better life than you had growing up.
100%. Yeah, that's
extremely admirable.
Yes. Yes. So, can we get back to the Afghan?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to add.
I was going to say that whole story was pretty early on in your deployment, right? Because you said you popped your cherry there.
Yeah, that was June. Now, when I'm talking about July, August, September, October.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I carry through you off.
So, no, it's all good. We bounced back and forth.
I'm joking.
So, after that first day, that night, it was dark, right? But it's a full moon. So, it was like, it's like a dream almost. It was like, everything's gray, but like everything's shined by a very bright moonlight.
Yeah.
Dark. And we set up a 360, just waiting to go back to the fob, which is like a couple hundred meters, I think. It wasn't even that far. I just remember I was on my knee, everybody's in 360 waiting, right? And the sheep herd and the sheep just come at us. Nobody moved. It was quiet, silence. All you hear was the sheep has a bell. Ding, ding, yeah. And then it's like about 50 sheep just walking right into the circle that we set up. Nobody moved. Nobody said anything. And the sheep herder just walked right past us, pitch black at night with the moonlight. I just remember that was just weird, man. I would just sit there and just walk right past us. The sheep was passing us and we're not moving. Nobody's moving.
That's extremely eerie, yeah.
Yeah, nobody said anything and the sheep just walked right past it. The herder just by himself walking past it. I don't know, that's just weird. Anyway, so after that's finished, we got up, we walked back. I couldn't sleep that night. The adrenaline was still like pumping into me. I was like, holy shit, I just got into a big gunfight. Let's keep it going, Right. But no, we didn't sleep that night. We reload everything again. So I'm back at 10 mags, 300 rounds, 12 grenades. Let's go.
Back to your 300-pound weight. Yeah.
Yep. Next morning, push. Okay, cool. Let's go back to the same spot. Let's go. Yeah, we went through the same spot. I was like, I thought we took a different spot. Nope, exactly the same spot. I was like, oh God. So I shit you not, I was like, that morning, I was like, my gun was up. Where we took contact, I was like, holy cow, we're about to get shot again. I was looking at every hole, every corner. Nothing. It was nothing. So we pushed into the village. And you can see the brass from the previous day's gunfight, the enemy's brass. You can see clearly where the position was.
And you're like, that's where that motherfucker was.
Dude, I can't believe they missed. If I was me in that position, I would have shot and killed somebody. That's like 100 meters away. They have the perfect position, and it's not that far. And they were just like spraying and praying, I guess. But they were accurate, but wasn't, it's just, it's fate that I didn't get shot that day,
Oh, absolutely, brother.
But like, holy cow, I was like, how did he miss? It was this close. I was standing where the brass was, looking at where I was laying yesterday in the ditch. I was like, how did they miss?
Dude, for the amount of gunfire, for the amount, like how they had you guys set up for that perfect ambush and you guys, no one died.
Yeah.
That's just Amazing.
Amazing.
An 8-hour gunfight.
Oh yeah, easy 8 hours. It was middays all the way till sunset, so probably longer than 8 because sun doesn't set until like 8:39.
Now, when you were there, did you see any like signs of like them being injured, shot, blood, anything
blood,
like
I
that?
see bloods. They take their body. They don't.
Yeah. So you guys definitely did some damage, which is great.
Yes, but it'll be better if we can just catch them in the moment. But
No, absolutely.
So one more story I would like to say. It's this one's it's interesting. So 2 days into the operation, we begin to clear the road because we have to. It's weird because the Marines have to clear the road with walking with a minesweeper looking for IEDs while the vehicle is behind us, 100 meters behind us with a mined thing. We don't want to use the car because that would damage the vehicle. We got to use the Marines. I'm like, get the heck out of here, dude. Are you serious? So EOD is sitting in the back. We were just doing our positioning. We were walking, and it was my turn. We all take turns. In the Marine Corps, you're a PFC, private, or Lance Corps, corporal sergeant. Besides a sergeant, I was a corporal at the time. I was sweeping for IEDs too, because nobody gets skipped out. You better do your fair share of sweeping for IEDs.
What the fucked up thing is, it's like in their mindset, you're cheaper to replace than that vehicle is.
Yes.
A life that's fucked up.
That's
because
fucked
a life
up.
is irreplaceable.
Yeah, they have the mine thing in the front. They can push if they hit it.
Have you ever seen the Marine Corps budget? I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Jesus
Yeah, you gotta
Christ.
think that's 2010. Now it's a lot different. Now that I see their gears, I was like, holy cow, that's awesome. This is badass. But back then, it wasn't like that. I keep in mind, during the gunfight in the video, if you ever watch it, I do not have ear protections. So I was deaf. I was legitimately deaf. I couldn't even hear myself talking. That's how loud it was, all the gunfights.
Well, I mean, they would have been like the 3M earplugs, and you still would have been deaf.
Oh, no,
regardless.
dude. Yeah,
you just would have gotten paid for it.
Exactly.
Even if you put in a claim to the VA, they'd still deny you. They're like, there's not enough
VA.
evidence that you were in a gunfight. Like, are you fucking high?
That's
Give the guy
another
this
story.
fucking 10% so he can get out of his fucking life.
Exactly. That's another story for another time.
Yeah,
but,
for sure. Sorry.
But so that day I was sweeping for IEDs. I would start taking sniper fire. So I just felt like I just hear pow, bang sound. I was sweeping for IED. I was hearing beep, 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 and then boom, one shot. And then I felt dirt hitting my leg. I was like, oh shit. So I jump on the opposite of the street. While I then look behind me, everybody's on the opposite side of the street. I'm like, what the heck? And my sergeant's like, shoo, get back here this way. It's this way. I'm like, what do you mean? I just hit this side. It should be coming that way. He said, no, come this way. So I just got up and started running, went to that side. While I was running across the street, I see a 40 millimeter grenade, the launcher, the 40 millimeter. I have an arming distance, like I have to spend a certain amount of time before it explode. It didn't. It just landed so close. It landed on the ground. So that's what caused the dirt hit my leg.
Oh, fuck.
He indeed. Somebody indeed negligent when the sniper first shot, the sound for somebody like and indeed and hit it right next to my leg. But thank God for the arming distance.
Negligent discharge for those who don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, negligent discharge on a 40 millimeter. It didn't explode because I need the arming distance. So it had to spin a certain amount or travel distance to explode. So I hit it right my leg. That got me confused. I thought that was a sniper fire landed next to my leg.
Yeah, and
So-
your sergeant's like, hey, get back over. So you had to go over the explosion.
That's the story that and I looked at it. I was, what is that? He said, don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, move. Right to that, good to go. Carry on, let's go, keep going.
Oh my God, dude.
Hey, I don't blame him. It's combat. Everything,
No. Yeah,
everything happens. I'm just glad it didn't explode.
Yeah,
And
that's
then-
less
yeah.
you're getting fucking blown up by your own guy.
That's one of those stories where like it didn't end poorly. So it's one of those things that you're just like the rest of your life you're like, oh my God, this happened to me.
I
Like,
could have, but again, God's watching over me. I was
Just
so
imagine
grateful.
how much shit that guy caught for fucking ending a
Nothing.
grenade.
Nothing.
No.
We kept it very, yeah.
Oh, I mean, like,
Yeah.
just shit from the guys, like, busting
Oh,
his
yeah.
balls. Like, oh, you remember when you almost blew
Yeah.
up fucking
Yeah.
Kevin with a grenade?
Either way, it was an interesting time. And then we begin to lit a compound up, a machine gun, 40 millimeters. And thank God nothing bad happened, but there was during these Taliban, especially snipers, they like to use human shield. So they put civilians in between us, making us have to shoot past the civilian to kill them.
So sick.
So we did that. But there was a field, I remember there's a field with an old man and his grandson. And we started shooting 240 7.62 like a machine gun around at that direction and land next to him. He took his turban out, started waving at us. I'm like, holy crap! Hey, ceasefire! Well, ceasefire. And then we would run up to them, make sure they're okay. They're okay, bro.
Thank God.
I felt so bad,
Dude, that's like the last thing you want to do.
dude. I felt so bad that we had to shoot past them to end the fire, to at least suppress the sniper fire.
Engage the enemy, yeah.
And the old man and the kid, they could have died, but they didn't. Thank God.
Easily, yeah, absolutely.
Holy God, they were sitting there with having the docs checking on them, everything.
It puts in perspective for like the listeners. Like these guys did not give a fuck about the innocence of their own countrymen.
No.
You guys cared more about them than they did.
Yes,
Because that would have just destroyed you if you guys would have killed an older gentleman with his son, like his grandchild.
Yeah.
That would have killed you.
Oh yeah. And I walk up to them and I check on them. They're okay. They don't understand. They speak Arabic. And the interpreter's checking on them. Whatever. I just apologize. I wasn't the one that's shooting, but at least but I was there. Yeah.
Right.
That's all. And I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. And I feel so bad for the kid. Go down the grandpa, took his turban, and started waving and said, hey, we are armed.
Because they deserve better.
They deserve better. It's unfortunate that we were forced to put in a position where we have to shoot past them in order to stop the sniper fire.
Yeah.
It's either way. That was because you think about it. If you kill one of them innocent by accident, collateral, they're gonna grow up hating us. I'm there with a pure heart,
Right.
pure mindset of I'm there to help you. I'm here to stop the oppression from the Taliban, to build a better life for your next generation. And I will die for you guys, to fight and protect you guys. Not just for my brothers, but to protect life, to protect the innocent life, people who are oppressed by the Taliban. That's my mindset.
Yeah.
Because that's going to go on to what happened a couple years later. But so after that, we continue sweeping and try to get a route clearance, set up patrol base in the new town, and the vehicle can even come up to us. Turns out to be like 7 to 10 days. It was 7 to 10 days of operation.
Oh.
Dude, I was out of food. I'm a foodie. I love to eat.
Yeah.
Dude, I freaking eat my food in like 3 days. It's that 3-day mission. My dumbass was like, all right, let's eat that in 3 days. Day 4, bro, I was surviving on grapes. Like whatever I found in the village, we took over each compound. That's like a huge village. Each one have a compound. We took a compound over. I'm just scrapping for food, bro. I was so hungry. We're looking for grapes. I was just eating that.
Right.
There's no food, dude. There's two kind of pain. One's like exhaustion, all that. And then the starvation, the fatigue. Oh,
Would you take one from one to the other? Would you take starvation or would you take exhaustion?
exhaustion.
Agreed.
Dude, starvation. I was ready to I don't know. I was ready to kill anything that had 4 legs just so I can cut it open and heat it up and eat it, dude. I was that hungry.
Oh, I believe it.
Eventually, we were able to clear enough road where the main force come up and they have MREs. And they gave us a couple, which I just shared it. That was my 21st birthday. I don't remember my 21st birthday, to be honest. I was in the middle of operating, in the front line. I don't remember what, but it was during my 21st birthday. But yeah.
Wow.
It was nuts. And then I'm trying to think. Yeah, and then we just found so many IEDs. The IEDs are just insane. Like for like 100 meters, you probably found like 5 or 6, 7, 8 even, And my people can blow up all the time, Marines.
Right.
My roommate, my old roommate, he went to sniper platoon and he lost both legs. Unfortunate,
Now, what does that play in your mental psyche? That's...
Oh, great question. Imagine you're 20 years old. They hand you a minesweeper in your hand. I said, go ahead. There's going to be imminently, there will be IED on this. You're going to sweep and protect it. And then find it. And then protect the people behind you. Go. In my head, I was like, holy shit, this is for real this time. But you know what? For my brothers, my Marines, behind the left and right and behind me, I'm willing to die for them. So if I get to step one and they blow me up, at least it end quick for me, and at least they get to live out.
Yeah.
And they have the same mindset for me
Because
as well.
that could take out multiple guys. So you're literally willing to give up your life to save a handful of Marines.
But imagine the mental psyche on that. If I die, I was saying to myself, if I die, I die.
I couldn't grasp it.
This is it. If I die, I die.
Yeah.
But they got to live on because of what I did. So it's fear, but I was able to find the courage.
Dude, I'm getting chills.
I was able to find the courage deep inside me. I was scared shitless.
Absolutely, rightfully so.
But because I was able to see the meaning behind it, for my brethren next to me, behind me, counting on me to clear this street. I was able to do that. So I was like, you know what? I remember I said to myself, if I die, I fucking die. Fuck it. Let's go. Let's do this. I just do it.
And that's why, I care so passionately about like first responders. That's why I care so passionately about military members on Memorial Day, on 4th of July. Like, those days mean more to me than Christmas, to any other holiday. And that's why I become so upset when people burn the American flag, when they take a kneel during the national anthem, all that stuff. And I'm not trying to take a political stance right now, but that's what I think about. Is men like you who are willing to give their fucking lives for this country to save their men and women that serve alongside them.
Yes.
And you're living fucking example of that.
It's an honor. It's an honor for me to live this life, especially for the opportunity I get to present to me. I get to do, give me the opportunity to, sweep for IEDs. If I, end up dying, it's for a great cause. At least for my brothers.
You're a true fucking American, brother.
And that's
you're a true American.
And that's that's what's going on in my head, and that's why I was able to find. I was scared shitless, okay, but I was able to find the courage inside me to keep pushing. And they did the same. Everybody else did the same too. We're sweeping for IEDs, and you know what's our technique to take on pressure plate? Take a K-bar, pop it, do like old school stuff, nothing advanced. Just pop it to look for the IED's pressure plate. That was it. Or use the Holly stick. Gandhi Holly, he invented the stick. It's like a sickle. We're looking for the wires, scraping for the wires, and then from the wire, you pull it slowly and see if it come back to the IED or come back to the pressure plate. These IEDs are.
And any of those actions can set that explosive off.
Yes.
Any of those actions.
That's the risk we're taking.
Yeah.
For the future of Afghanistan, for the better future.
On the next holiday, I really want to say this to the listeners. On the next holiday of the 4th of July, on the next holiday of Veterans Day, on the next holiday of Memorial Day, don't take it as a day off. Remember what these men and women have done for this country. They've literally put their lives on the line for freedom, right? You were literally trying to give these men and women in this country who've been suppressed for so long the freedom that we have in America. And I want to just say this right now and pause and thank you for what you've done for this country.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And it's an honor to be part of this. I owe this country everything.
And this country owes you everything, brother.
And I'm so happy that I'm here and I get to live my American dream because other people died for it.
Right. I think people forget that. I think people forget they get caught up in their own lives. They get caught up in the political bullshit. They get caught up in all that fucking shit. And you literally forget what this country is founded on. And it's founded on men and women like you.
Yes. True patriot.
You're a true fucking patriot.
100%. I mean, yes, I might be born in China.
Doesn't
but I came
matter.
here. I'm a U.S. citizen. I love serving my country. I continue serving for the community. And ultimately, today, me and my brother reached our American dream by building 2 beautiful homes with our family here. It is 100% achievable.
100%.
Yes. If we continue, it all depends on how much you want to sacrifice. But I give up everything for this life, and I absolutely love it.
And I guarantee if you take a knife and cut open your fucking arm, you bleed red, white, and blue.
100%.
I was just going to say, you speaking of your being an immigrant, that's the American way.
100%.
Exactly.
I mean, look at throughout history, all of the war fighters and those who have paid the price for freedom, and that was it. It was immigrants. Immigrants built this country.
Yes.
Immigrants fought and died for this country for, that idea that they believed in and, drove them to leave their country, right? Granted, you didn't have that choice to stay or go, but I mean, that makes you the ultimate patriot.
Right, dude. I'm Irish, German, and Italian. I came from fucking people that my heritage.
Yeah.
Bunch of fucking potato eaters and pasta. Like I'm a dago off the fucking boat, dude. Like that's what this country's made of, and that's what makes this country so great. And you are exactly that.
Thank you. Back to the Afghan story.
Yeah.
After this, we eventually finished I think it was like 9 to 10 days. We finally finished everything. We went back to our original area, a little bit more north, and we continued to do the build and hold and build area, which is hold and build. That's basically, I mean, we did take contact a couple other times. Nothing is near as intense as the first day. So that was good. The Taliban eventually, they will never go against U.S. forces. They will never win because we are just better trained. They're good. They're great fighters, okay? But we are better trained and better equipped.
Way better equipped. They can never go toe-to-toe.
Yes, never go toe-to-toe. Because I was willing to if I have to go hand-to-hand combat, I will. And on the video, you see my guns breaking down in the middle of the gunfight. If a guy came up to me, charging at me with AK, I was willing just to throw my gun down and just run up to him. If he got shot, I get shot, or I beat his ass. You know, that's it. That is it. There's no question about it. It's either he die, I live, or I die, he live. Then somebody else, I'm sure my brothers will come and kill him.
Oh, absolutely, they would.
And that is the mindset every Marine has as infantry. That's what it should have, to fight and die if necessary. But anyway, we finish.
They don't call you guys devil dogs for no reason.
Exactly. You had to,
They don't call you guys devil dogs.
And it's And then in the end, it was good. It was we finishing up that deployment. We took over everything. It was good. We got everything down, right? And then we came back home. And let me just tell you a funny story since I was serious.
Please.
Can I tell you a funny story?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So we were like towards the end of our deployment. We were searching our houses, not houses, compounds. We found a musket, bro. A musket from like 1800, like the Brits, like flintlock musket.
No
like
shit.
18 something. I remember. We're like, hey, let's bring that back to our base. We did.
Hell
Nobody
yeah.
knows. There's only 8 of us. There's only 8 Marines. We were very tight. We do everything together.
How do you hide a fucking 5-foot musket?
No, we came back home at night. It was night patrol, so we came back. We brought it back to our tent where we sleeping, okay? It's like 8 cots.
Yeah.
And then we're like, being dumb as we are, 20-year-olds, I'm like, hey, let's see if the thing works. We took a marble, okay? Well, actually, no. We broke a 5.56 bullet, breaking in half. Took the bullet out and put the freaking gunpowder in there. And then we put a marble stick in there. And I shit you not. Click, didn't work. And then I think we put something over there. One of the landscaper did it. I'm just standing. We're all just watching. We're aiming at we're aiming at the door. The entrance. We're inside the tent. We're aiming outside, like towards there's like a burn. There's like a pit. There's like a wall.
Towards a burn.
Yeah. There's like a pit. There's like a wall right here. Okay, a concrete wall. We're aiming at it. Click, nothing. Click, nothing. Put more gunpowder and put maybe like something. I think we used a lighter or something. Click, boom. Holy cow. It was like a bunch of kids getting in trouble. They're all running into the bed, sleeping. What the guy with the marble stuck in one of the barriers.
Yeah.
And there was just so much smoke because it's an old musket. So smoke comes in from. Dude, that smoke's coming out the door. It was so loud. We put it down. The guy holding it just threw under the bed. We're all just laying there like nothing happened. Even though something clearly just happened.
The fucking sergeant walks in, dude.
No, I was in charge. I was corporal at the time. We had no sergeant. We're like, oh my God. I was sitting there. And then we look ahead. Nothing happened after a while. Then we peek ahead. Nobody heard anything. We're like, oh God, nothing happened. Then we just put it back. Pretend nothing ever happened.
Bro, military shenanigans right there, dude. Like, just think about your sergeant walking, everyone's like laying down in their bed, pretending like, what was that noise? There was nothing. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah. For us, remember I told you they break it up. We only have 2 corporals. That was me and the other guy. That was it. There's no sergeant, dude. So we're the one that's actually in charge, and we're the one that's doing that. So, oh man, that was pretty close.
Dude, that's fucking gold, bro.
Yeah, and
that's fucking gold.
We're trying to bring that back to the U.S. Obviously, we won't pass customs. So my buddy, he broke that thing into pieces and took the plate. It says 18 something on there. He brought it back. I think he still have it. I have to ask him. But I think that's during the British invasion.
Oh, I guarantee
18.
it.
Yeah, it has to be during the Brits.
That's fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
we also found a bunch of Russian like jackets when Russia was invading.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
bet.
yeah, it's very historical there. So yeah, that was interesting.
Well, brother, do you have anything else about your military history or not? We're gonna jump into your law enforcement career.
Let's go. Let's jump into law enforcement.
Before we do, we'll take a quick break.
Okay. So after the Afghanistan pump, we begin to come home. It's like it's a process. We first got flown out into a bigger base, Camp Leatherneck. From there, we waited for like a week or two to decompress. Over there, we were able to eat good food again. Oh my gosh. I remember, I know my brother said something about it. Bro, we were in there eating the hot dogs and burgers or whatever. It tastes so good.
Oh,
And we go out, puke it back out, go back in and eat again just for the taste. Just for the dopamine to hit again. Because you've been eating MREs 24/7 for like,
going from fucking grapes to fucking going to like
Yes.
eating hot dogs. Like, fuck.
it's just no MREs anymore. Oh my gosh. And I get it. There's a lot of conflict between like infantry guys and pogues. We call them prisoners on the grounds. Dude, you got guys who deploy to Afghanistan who stayed. Nothing against them. That's great. They did their job. That's their job. Nothing against them. But like they're staying on their base all their deployment.
Yeah.
While we go out and do that, come back, and it's a different experience. Everybody have different
animosity right there for sure. And honestly, you guys earned your fucking keep tenfold.
Yeah, and it's just different, and I'm not gonna go in detail on that because some people get their feelings hurt when
I'll say it.
Yeah.
I'll say it. For all of you guys who are pogues and you
Oh my
fucking
gosh.
shit on the infantry from coming in, from busting.
Easy.
And I
That's
mean
enough.
it.
No, they did their job. It's just like us.
Everybody had a job to do.
Yes.
Right, but you can't. This is the fact that they shit on you guys when you guys come into the mess hall. Like, oh, you guys can't be dirty. Like, literally, you were being shot at for how many days straight? Let the dudes eat. They can shower afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, let's get this priority straight here.
And that's basically that's basically what I have a problem with. It's like stop shitting on the grunts when they just got back from combat. Let them eat.
Right.
Don't make us go shower and then go eat. Make the chow hall dirty. Well, we have the contractor there to clean the chow hall anyway. It's not like them over there cleaning it. They just don't like the way we smell.
Right.
But what? That's it. Like either way. I'm done my ranting.
I'm really sorry we wore the same uniform for 15 days straight because I didn't have a choice and I was eating grapes and whatever I could find on the ground.
Well, I think a lot of that it comes down to, obviously I've never served, so I can't speak fully, but I think a lot of that comes down to leadership and that mentality of cleanliness and all that is discipline, and discipline is fighting strength or whatever, right? Like,
Leader, it all comes down to leadership. So after 2 weeks in Camp Leatherneck, we get on the plane, flew to Kyrgyzstan, and then from there we flew back to the United States. It was a hero's welcome. It was awesome. We landed and bus picked us up. There's people waving, and then when we got back to our base, it was nighttime already. I just remember it was dark already when we got back to our base. That's where I experienced the most loneliest time of my life. It's when we arrived with all my brothers that we spent 6-7 months together, sleeping next to each other, whatever, fought together. We got off. We have a motorcycle parade that's leading the bus. Then we went to the armory, turn on our weapon system, get our room key, and then we marched down together where all the family is waiting for us. Wow, that was beautiful. The family was sitting there cheering with the signs, everything. We got there. And when they said platoon release, everybody come up. Families running up to them, hugs, kisses. All my good friends, people I serve with, they all have their family there, kissing them, hugging them. And there's nobody for me. Nobody. That's when I truly felt it of loneliness ever.
Yeah.
Because I was away, gone for so long. And I was with the people that I'm with. It's like they're my brothers. We live, sleep next to each other, for each other. And they have their family just kissing them, loving them. That childhood trauma came up again. I felt it. I felt so lonely. I was like, there's nobody there. So I just looked around. I don't have anybody to talk to because they're busy talking to their own family. So I looked around and I just walked to where my bag is. I grabbed it and I went to my room. and I just lay there. Might cry a little bit, but I lay there. I went to sleep that night. From there, after a couple of weeks, couple of months, we continue on training. That was when we got back. It was November, December. It was December. Well, I did went home afterward. Eventually, stayed in my old house. Parents were divorced. There was no family for me when I got home. Okay, and my brother. Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped the part where my brother came home. His girlfriend's family was there. I had the girlfriend. We broke up, whatever. So I had nobody. But he had his girlfriend. His family was there, not wife, right? They were there. So we all went out. I was able to partake, with them,
right,
and hang out for a little bit. And I get to make my wish come true. I get to go to a bar legally. Go to a nice bar and sit there and order my drink.
What was your first drink?
Old fashioned. I love old fashioned. Yeah, that was like, give me old fashioned. I want some whiskey. Oh, amazing.
Oh, dude, there's a place nearby. It's in Lockport.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take you and your brother there. It's like a speakeasy. That's great. Yeah, so you go to the top floor, you open up the elevator doors. It's like a barber shop, and there's you can get your shoe shined here. Like there's like a little setup, and then you look to the left, like a bookcase opens, and then that's like an old school like Italian kind of like not an Italian thing, but they always have like an Italian singer, and they smoke some old fashions in Manhattan. So yeah, we're gonna take you, buddy.
Dude, I'm a snob when it comes to old fashioned.
No,
I'm a snob, dude.
Now I hope it's good.
No, it's good. No, don't worry, it's good. I'm all about the experience, dude.
Let's go, bro.
Yes, for sure.
So you had your first drink, and it was an old fashioned.
Yes.
Good choice.
Oh, it was awesome. And then, first one, and many more after that. But
Absolutely,
that's good. So yeah, basically afterward, I eventually 3 months later, I was able to get out early. I got out early in March.
Okay.
When my contract ends in June, but then when people started leaving in 2011, so I got out in March. You know how people when they leave, they hug each other and this and that. It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
It was different. So the day that I'm leaving, which March 11th, I think, my roommate, who is also the other corporal, me and him we grew very close together during the deployment.
Absolutely.
He very nice guy. Shout out to Tyler. Tyler's awesome.
Tyler.
Yeah.
We appreciate you, buddy.
He's in what do you call it? Me and him. He gave me a Bible because he's very religious, and he gave me a Bible. That means a lot to me because that means a lot to him. I kept it. Even today I have it.
Yeah.
Okay. He said I got nothing given. He's a Bible, and he drove me to the airport. As I leave, I just looked behind the barracks where people were busy doing their own things. Everybody, I'm not like big goodbye guy. I'm like, oh, look, everybody, they're happy. They're doing their own things, get ready for the next training or to another unit. It was just downtime. I looked at one last time, and then I jumped in his car. We drove away, and that was the last time I left Camp Pendleton. That's the last time I ever went on Camp Pendleton. That was it.
Wow.
He drove me back. Maybe I go back and pay a visit to that area. Nobody I know is there anymore.
Right, still. Sentimental.
So he drove me, and I left and went back home because I thought, I get a 3 month early. I get a 3 month head start to maybe go to college and stuff. I waited for my brother in June, and then we applied. We went to college in August, So, but it was definitely a different transition because I felt like I have no job, no income, no job, nothing, just brand new start. I was again scared because back to mental health part, my trauma started hitting me. Like, am I good enough for this society? Am I good enough to be able to find a job, to work, to be self-sufficient, to make enough living? Every time I apply for a job, I feel like I'm not worthy to be part of that job, but hopefully they'll hire me. I feel like that's how it felt in my head. But I did apply, and I did got a job in a security company, and just go to college and do security company, and just both, 4 years of that. Eventually, me and my brother were graduated with a bachelor's in criminal justice. Our senior year, we got hired by our home agency. So we were able to go to the police academy and finish our last semester at the same time. And we graduated. I never went to my bachelor graduation. I just went to my police academy graduation. That was it. And they mailed my bachelor in the mail, so whatever. And then begin the FTO process. It was awesome. It was great. It worked out better than I expected. I was having a job offer before I finished my school because when I finished my school, I don't have the GI Bill anymore. And I'm sure I said earlier, GI Bill is the best thing that's happened to the veterans. Veterans, it really helps people who are in poverty to join the military, to serve a country. It doesn't have to be infantry like me. You can go anywhere in the military. Just serve and get a GI Bill to go to college, get the education you need, and to turn your life around. That's literally what this is. It's a key to success. You know, so
opens doors for you.
Oh, 100%. Yep. From there, we went through the FTO process. Like my brother said, it was very stressful. Right. Very. Certain FTOs, not gonna name names, but I'm not used to it because I'm still having, at the time, I was knowing what I know at the time. I was not mature as I am now. I'm still, 25-year-old Kevin is different than 36-year-old Kevin. At the time, I thought people would care, be more respectful, but that wasn't the case. Some are, and some aren't. Right. And the people aren't, they just don't give a crap about what I did, whatever, which is fine.
No, it's because they've never been there. That's why.
Yeah, they won't understand that. It's fine. It's on me. I shouldn't expect other people to, they don't owe me anything. I'm there for a job, and they're there to provide me the training so I can do the job. That's it. Don't expect anything extra. Unfortunately, me, I'm more like personality person. I like to, get to know people and stuff like that. So yes, me and my brother did both got extended, but it is what it is. And we finished our FTO, and we were able to stay, at our agency. Eventually, because we both speak Chinese, we speak fluent Chinese, and we were able to help the surrounding agencies on certain operations. And it got caught on the eyes of one of the federal agencies where they came and recruited us to go. No way. Yeah, that's how they did it. I didn't know who they are, but they liked it. They found out they need our skill set for investigation purpose, and they came and they recruited us. And our village, our administration was supportive, so they corroborated. And then me and my brother were become what they call a task force officer, TFO. Yep. So we become a federal task force officers. So we were doing that, and I was there for 5 years. Well, my brother got pulled back, and he became a detective. After 2020 it was a crazy year, 2020. So he got pulled back, and he became a detective, while I remained and continued to operate operate with the federal task force. Coming down to leadership, let's talk about some leadership stuff.
Yeah, let's do it. I love leadership stuff.
Being in the federal task force, it's great experience, awesome stuff. But I'm not gonna name anybody, but leadership sets the tone, sets the environment for the 100%. People. Okay, it really all comes down to leadership. It doesn't matter how good the job is. If you have a incompetent leader, you're gonna feel miserable. Eventually I realized that this task force it's changed. It used to be really good, and then it changed. Somehow it changed due to, I'm gonna say, leadership, because I was put in a position where I wasn't ready for.
Yeah.
But I wasn't given the guidance and the training that I need. So I unfortunately I made a mistake that I make mistakes. That's doomed to make mistake.
Everyone does. It's human nature.
But the environment was set as, if you make a mistake, they will hold against you for your future opportunities. And that is what really pissed me off.
Right.
It's really, you're going to hold my future opportunity based on mistake that I made when I was set up for failure. But I own up to it. I made a mistake. I learned. But why would they hold my future opportunity for it? But I'm not going to get into too detail on what they do. But I did meet a lot good TFOs from other surrounding agencies.
Yeah.
Really good ones. Guide me a lot. Due to their currently operations still undercover and covert, I'm not going to name anybody. But I do want to give a shout out to Curse, a.k.a. Big Country.
Big Country.
Big Country. Nice guy. He taught me a lot because he's a lot older than me.
Yeah.
Like at least by 10 years, I say. He's a guy who did a lot more in his law enforcement career. So he knows the whole picture. He saw the whole picture. At the time, I only saw like a fraction of what it is. So he already know what it is. And he's just chill. Just a guy where you go up, just like, he's just chill, relax, tell you what's up, and just do your thing, Just a good guy to be around.
Great leader.
Yeah, great leader. Yeah.
And those are the type of leaders that you will literally fall to hell and back, because I've experienced that in my law enforcement career. I experienced that in the Coast Guard. I'm sure you've experienced that in the Marines, and then also in your law enforcement career. You know the difference between a really good leader and a subpar leader.
That's so true. Leadership is key to everything, because they set the tone for the rest of the team. If you have a bad leader, it's gonna affect the performance of the entire team.
Yeah.
Set the environment. As a leader, they need to create an environment where they help and teach and guide and provide.
Yes.
Teach, guide, and provide for their people.
Yes.
To be successful.
100%.
That's it. But certain people tend to end up in a position where they shouldn't be, but due to other factors, they are, and they create an environment where, it's toxic.
Yeah,
And
a good leader is going to get to know his men. A good leader is going to get to know his patrol officers, or whatever field you're working in. It could be in business. It could be literally teaching. It could be anything. A good leader is going to know his personnel, what their strong suits are, what their weaknesses are, and he's going to lead accordingly.
Exactly. And that's hard to come by. It sounds amazing. It sounds perfect.
Easier said than done.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Easy said than done. And that's why I tested for sergeant. Unfortunately, I was on the bottom of the list, so I'm gonna do it again. And try to, because people complain. No matter where you go, people are always gonna complain the environment they are in. So in my head, I was like, you know what? Instead of complaining, why not do something about it? So I want to be. Hopefully, one day I will get promoted, not just a sergeant, but can you go up and maybe change the way the atmosphere is, the environment. You know, that's my main goal.
But what does that say about you, Kev? Like, it says, just because you tried your first time and you're shut down, a lot of people be like, well, I'm never going to be a sergeant, right? You're not taking no for an answer. You've never taken no for an answer, and that shows time after time from what you've been through in your life.
I used to, like, I don't anymore due to, Lou. My brother mentioned him. That's our therapist, Lou, who helped us.
Shout out first responders.
Yes, shout out to first responder. They saved my life. Yeah. I was in a dark place because I don't know how to process, to deal with failures, to deal with a toxic leadership, toxic environment.
Yeah,
I don't know how to deal with that. So I was in a very dark place. Eventually, what hurts me the most, even to her to say this, but I'm glad I recognize it, is I was in a bad place, and I was hurting the people that I loved the most.
We talked about this off camera. I agree with you.
I was hurting my family.
Yeah.
And that is messed up. That is horrible. And I, without realizing it.
You don't.
I don't.
And that's why, like, this, I'm not trying to be like promotional here, but that's why Kara and I came up with Beyond the Dispatch.
Yeah.
It's a lot of guys don't realize what they're going through, because I've been there, you've been there, Carrie's been there, and you don't realize what kind of mindset you're in, because you're like, oh, I'll be fine, I'll get past it. But honestly, what's happening is you're crumbling, and everyone around you is crumbling because you're not taking care of your own mental state.
Yes.
And you have to put the tough guy shit aside and realize when that's actually happening to you. And it seems like you have, and look where you are now. You literally just said that Lou saved your life.
Yes, she did. And shout out to Lou about that. She doesn't understand that, but I never told her that, but she would listen, she would hear about it. But I was in a dark place, and I'm glad she was there to help. I was lucky. My brother had to switch multiple therapists. Lou was my first shot, and I got it. And I was like, Mike, you can check out her out. She's awesome. Yeah. So she was able to take my brother, and both try to heal us. I learned so much. I didn't realize how much trauma I have, the inner child work I need to do, the stuff I've been through really, like, affect everything, It
does.
And it's a lot. And I admit it. I'm still in the journey of healing, and I'm not perfect. I'm still in the journey of healing, and it's a lifelong process. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm healed tomorrow. I don't need this anymore. It doesn't work that way.
No.
It's a lifelong process, and continue to make a little bit of achievement every day, a little bit improvement every day, and that's how it matters.
It's not a quick fix.
It's not.
It's not. If you think you're going into therapy, you think you're going to seek help because, oh, it's a Band-Aid. This is a quick fix. It'll be over within like a month or two. That's not how this works.
No.
That's not how that works. You literally have to keep, just like you do anything in life, just like you learned your job, just like how you learn to write, just like how you learn to read. It takes practice. You have to keep working on it. And then if you let it slip, guess what's going to happen? Your mental health's going to slip again.
Yes.
It's a day-to-day thing.
Oh, yes. Yes. And even today, every day I'm trying my best to be there, to heal myself so that I can be there for my family, to watch my children grow up, you know. Being in the federal task force really woke me up. Really, I don't know how to say this. It really showed me where I'm lacking, and showed you
a different perspective about your own life.
Yeah, about my own life and how to deal with conflicts.
Yeah, man.
You know, and traumas. You know, it comes out when there's pressure. You know, so that's basically it. And then after that, after 5 years, I was happy with it, and I had 2 children while I was in, so I was like, it's time for me to get out and get back to patrol and learn and try to be a good parent for my children, because patrol has a better scheduling.
Yeah.
So, and I was lucky enough, I came out at 2023 and loving it. So far, so good. Everything's good. Don't get me wrong, patrol has its own challenge, okay? We all do. It doesn't matter.
We all know that.
But we just have to be the positive, because if we see, every time we see the negative, we gotta at least train our mind to see the positive as well. You know, otherwise we will never heal. We will have to.
You see it time and time again, and I'm sure you can attest to this, that you know your perspective and then the type of people that you work with also play a role on your own perspective.
Yes.
And if you have that toxic person can leak into your own life, and then your whole unit, your squad, ABs, A nights, whatever it is, and then that can go into the next, and then the next, and the next. You know, the whole department. So you have to kick that shit in the ass right off the rip.
Oh yeah, yes. One great thing that happened to me and my brother, which I thought that would never happen, was that we were able to join the SWAT team, because that's very hard to get in, and and usually it's not just hard to get in, but like the opportunity is not there. You gotta wait for someone to leave, then you can put in for it, and then hopefully they select you. You know,
right? And then there's a testing involved. There's the oral board. I mean, at least that's how it was for us.
Oral, yeah.
And then there's the physical.
Yes.
And then they judge you on whoever the candidates are, and then they pick who they want.
Yes.
And there's the shooting too. There's multiple aspects to it.
Yes. So my home agency was only going to put 1 in there. But after the interview, the commander requested both of us from my chief. And my chief approved it.
Let's go.
I was like, oh my gosh, dream come true.
What does that say about you guys?
That they see highly of us. They don't see it,
Both the SWAT team and your own chief saw highly of you guys and what you guys have to offer. Because that's a budget issue right there. I mean, and SWAT gear's not cheap.
Oh my
it's
gosh,
thousands and thousands of dollars.
I think it was like at least $10,000-$15,000.
And then also on top of training. So like if you're training outside your schedule, that's overtime. And then if call outs, that's overtime. Like that's a lot of money for a department to handle.
Yes, and I'll be honest with you, I was surprised that they approved it, but they did. So that's why I'm grateful for the opportunity my agency gave me. You know, because me and my brother, to be honest, that's all we wanted, is to join a SWAT team. That's one of our goal as being law enforcement, to be part of a SWAT team. And we get to accomplish that. 7, 8, 9 years into it, we get there. Still, we got it.
Yeah, man.
Zero complaint. It was awesome. I'm grateful for it.
It's great training, and it's training that you can bring. Like for me, it was one of my favorite parts of my career.
Yes.
And you get to bring that training back to your guys. So like now you're on patrol, and how many times have you cleared open doors where it's like the warehouse or it's a house, and you know a lot of these patrol guys don't get the same type of training that you get in SWAT or in the military.
Exactly.
And you're doing CQB and they're just like and you have to, in a sense, take it serious.
Yeah, very serious. And because it's life and death out here, you know. I know there's not Afghan, but you got people with guns. I tell this to I recently become FTO as well. I haven't trained anybody yet, but I become an FTO as well. And I should be. I appreciate it. Thank you. I was like, you know what? If whoever's my first recruit, I'm gonna give him the mindset that, look, being a patrol cop, it's really hard if you think about it, because you're dealing from a suspicious, like even a cat ran up to a tree, some BS call. all the way to active shooter, and everything in between. You're dealing with it. Everything in between.
Your skill set has to be so vast.
Hey, cat up a tree is our call. You stay away from that.
Not if it's midnight. Midnight, you guys be sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you call fire? Yeah,
but you know what I mean, from some non-emergency call, non-criminal, non-emergency call, all the way to active shooter and everything in between. They call in the police and firefighter too, for this, and patrol have to deal with it. You got to have the. It's a lot more thinking, you know. It's a lot more how to solve a problem, you know.
Yeah,
problem solving thinking,
and that goes back to complacency kills.
Yes,
and a lot of officers get like that. Like you're how many years in? 10, 15, 20 years. You can be even 5, 6, 7, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I've done this stop like 1,000 times. It's that point in time when you think nothing's going to happen is when actually shit happens, and you're not ready and you're caught off guard because you're complacent.
Yes. Oh my gosh, and complacency kills you, like you said. Yeah, it really does. It's just you do this a million times, but with the million first time, that's when shit hit the fan and boom, you know.
Yeah, brother.
And I mean, you've been there. Holy cow, dude.
Unfortunately,
I'm glad you're here, though.
God, I wish they told me how to dodge bullets in FTO. Bro.
Yeah, I don't think they have that. Do we have that class in Nemert?
Your driver, I think I missed that day.
Yeah.
Well, brother, listen, man, it's been an honor having you on. I mean, do you have anything last to say to the guests before we take off?
No, I appreciate the opportunity for me to share my stories on here.
There was something you did want to talk about that we haven't gotten to.
Ooh, let's hit on that.
The Afghanistan pullout. You had mentioned to me you wanted to talk about that.
Oh, yes. So
let's hit that up real quick.
One thing, real quick. So one thing really hit me hard was Afghanistan pullout in 2022, I believe, right? 2022, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a complete disaster, right? And here's an even more messed up part. Do you remember I was telling the story? I was still purely believed that I was there for a reason to help and fight the bad guy, the Taliban, to help clear, build, and hold, to build a better future for the Afghan children. That just all went to shit. Why? We gave everything back to the Taliban.
Yeah.
We give everything back to the enemy that tried to kill me and kill my brethren. All right? We did that. It broke me.
Yeah.
It broke me. I don't know what, everything I believed in just shattered. People who died for what? We gave everything back. And then what's even more of a punch in the gut is we still give the Taliban money every week for them. Like, what is going on with our government? That's beyond me. As a warrior, as a Marine, as a citizen, I'm concerned. And I don't know what to do because I'm just a pawn. You know?
Yeah, man. And after they sent you guys, right? So the government was what put us there, right?
Yes.
And you're going to send men and women to fight to the death and then all of a sudden turn around and be like, oh no, we're friends now. And then you're literally stabbing all these men and women who served during that time frame in the back. What are you saying? What are you saying to our country? What are you saying to our soldiers?
Exactly.
What are you saying to all the men and the families who've lost loved ones? Like,
people don't understand. A lot of people in the U.S., the citizens, don't understand. Like, can you imagine? Just imagine losing one of your family member in the war. And now we're going to give everything back to the people who killed your family member.
It's a betrayal.
It's such a slap in the face.
Yeah.
It makes me question everything from now on. It really does. And I'm just like, nothing is what it used to be. Nothing is what I thought it was. And it makes me question. That's why I'm so like, every time something happens, I'm like, what really is going on behind the picture? Why is this happen? You know?
Because you guys joined a pure of heart. You guys joined for the right reasons. You joined, all the I'm going to say shit. You joined for all the shit they put out. You want to be bigger than yourself, serve your country. You want to do this, serve your country. You want to fight for freedom, serve your country. And you did that, and then that's what ends up happening, and that's what they end up doing to you.
And don't get me wrong, I still will do.
Right.
I would die for this country.
Because you're a true fucking patriot, bro.
Yes, I love this country. My American dream came true. And I truly believe a better future for my children. And I would die before we give an inch of this land to any other foreign force. Oh. That's 100%. It's still there.
We'd be right there with you, buddy.
Yes. It makes me question when we go to foreign land and start fighting. And then now I'm start questioning, like, were we supposed to be there? It start making me questioning our foreign policy. But internally, inside, like, if any force invade, the United States, I would still go back and fight and die for it.
Absolutely.
That's 100%. So that's the part where it broke me is Afghan withdrawal. I just want to go over that. Really,
No, it's an extremely important portion. I'm glad Carrie remembered that.
Yeah, thank you, Carrie.
That's what I'm here for.
Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Kevin, fucking amazing episode, brother.
Thank you.
We appreciate you coming on. We can't get anywhere without you guys. Please like, subscribe, share. Kevin's story needs to be out there. More people need to hear it. We appreciate you guys tuning in week to week. Carrie, anything?
No, other than the fact that, dude, like I said earlier, I just want to give you a hug, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Thank you.
hell of a story. And the fact that you made it to where you are is just absolutely incredible.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Just thank you for coming on.
People like Kevin, that's what makes this country great. That's what we strive for. That's what America is built on. We appreciate you guys. Catch you on the next one.